Hi, I'm author Bailey Thomas, and if you're a reader, writer, reviewer, content creator, or part of the book community, you're in the right place. And if you're none of these, you're still in the right place, because this YouTube channel is for everyone. I'm just trying to make the world a better place, one book, story, or YouTube video at a time. So whether you're here to learn how to write a book, celebrate books, or just have fun, I'm glad you're here. Woo! We are back. Part 2 of reading my negative reviews. Oh, hard video, but also it does help me learn how to deal with them. And if negative reviews are stopping you from becoming an author or slowing you down, don't let it. No, you can become an author right after this video. So check out my checklist, 7 steps of how I self-publish for free on my website. Or you can get the paid one as well. It just goes into a little bit more detail, dives into a little bit more tips. But either way, you can grab one of these guides and start being a self-published author, because we're not going to let these negative reviews stop you. And if you're already past that, you're like, I already published a book. What? Well, I don't need those guides. That's fine, because I also have a marketing guide, and we all know we all need marketing. 100 sales in 100 days. The exact strategy I used to accomplish that goal, which I did in less than 100 days. And that guide will tell you on what day I actually surpassed it. So grab a guide, grab a snack, grab a comfy place to watch this video, because we are diving in to my negative reviews. So today we are diving into the negative reviews of my second ever self-published book, which is You Should Have Just Let Me Go. Yes, my second one ever. And if you've read this book, I know you tuned into this video. How did this book get negative reviews? I know, guys, all the same things. How's my highest rated book crazy? Just kidding. Every book gets negative reviews, and we're going to dive into those today. But if you do want to check out that book, I'll put my website in the description. I'm also on Amazon, Kindle Unlimited, TikTok Shop. I'm there. So if you want to grab it and see if these reviews are actually true or not, go ahead and check that out and let me know what you thought of the book. So we are going harder this video. My first video I did my negative reviews, I feel like it was a little soft. We're going hard now. I got some harsh 1-star comments of that book, and we're going to read those right now. Let's strap up and dive in to these negative reviews. Here we go. I'm so angry I wasted my time reading this. I honestly have nothing good to say about this book. It's not even a romance story. I kept waiting for the romance to happen, but it never did, and the characters are so terrible. I kept hoping at some point I would start to like them, but no, and the ending is awful. Don't waste your time on this one. Ouch. That one hurt, because I write based off my dating history. So if you thought the ending was awful reading it, how do you think the ending was for me living it? But totally respect people's opinions. To each their own. Moving on. Horrible characters who don't improve. I'm not sure of the purpose of this book. Maybe it's to turn a mirror toward the behaviors of people in toxic relationships. If that is the case, then maybe those unhealthy individuals will see that nothing good comes from their actions, like nothing good came from me reading this book. You know, I actually thought that review was kind of clever. Like, nothing came good from this book. Nothing came good from their action. But yeah, I read based on my dating experience, so if you thought the characters were toxic, yeah, they were. Trust me. We should just keep going. I told you we were going hard with the negative reviews today. Let's keep it going. The writing was good, but the plot was too fast. Overall, the characters lacked substance, and the story lacked much arc. Okay, this one I feel like I could take as constructive criticism, which I actually did. Like, this one said the plot was too fast, so I slowed down on my next one. So we can take some positives from these negative reviews, and hopefully how I'm handling these right now might be inspiration of how you can handle them, which is, I don't know, making YouTube videos of them and putting your negative reviews on blast. Let's do one more. We're going hard. We're finishing with a very harsh negative review of this book, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about how to deal with them, and then end on positive reviews. And if I'm about to read your positive review, thank you. But let's get into this last negative review. Harsh. Prepare your hearts for this one. I don't like any of the characters. I do not feel attached to any of them. Most of the characters annoy me, like Skylar and Logan. Piper and Dalton are nice, I suppose, but even they are cringe. The relationship between everyone is strange, and I had trouble caring enough to continue reading. I feel bad rating this book so badly, but I really did not like it. Bailey Thomas's other book is really good, though. I really liked her first book she wrote. That is why I decided to read this book. I don't know. I feel like it's like a compliment sandwich, an insult sandwich, insult, maybe a tiny compliment, insult. Thank you to whoever wrote that who liked my first book. I thought my second one was better, but I guess not. We all have things to learn from these negative reviews, but hopefully you got a chuckle out them. Hopefully they help you deal with your own negative reviews, but I know they can be tough. So let's dive into some ways of how to handle them. Thank you for bearing with me as I read my negative reviews of a book that's very personal to me, poured my heart and soul into it, and I got some 1-star terrible feedback. But that was okay because we're going into tips of how to handle those. And the first tip I'd have to give you is to try not to take it personal. These comments were not like, Bailey, you are toxic and you have no character development. We're talking about the characters in my book. So I just try not to take it personally. I read it, dang, that one's done, and then I move on. They're not talking about me. They're talking about my book. And even if they were talking about me, I don't even know them. So I just try not to take it personally. Again, way easier said than done, I know. Because my first tip, if you watch the first negative reviews of my first book, my number one tip, which I should mention now anyways, don't read them. These reviews are for readers of the book. They're not to make you feel better. So if you can just not read them, that would actually be my number one tip. But because they do happen, you do read them, you are curious, just try not to take it personally. Next, maybe we focus on the trends of the reviews instead of the reviews themselves. Do I keep getting reviews that my books are too fast, the plot is too fast, the characters are not developing? Maybe I need to work on my character development so I can find a positive, I can find some constructive feedback in these negative reviews. I'm not focusing on the person that said, wow, I don't like this stinks, this sucks, don't read. I'm focusing on, oh, maybe there's a lot of trends that my character development isn't up to par, which I'm learning. That was only my second book ever published. So I can take some trends and some constructive feedback. So don't read them, don't take it personally, and then focus on the constructive feedback that you can use in your next book. But we're not going to start there. My next thing, I do not respond to my reviews, positive or negative. I do not respond. I am not here to have a public conversation about your opinion of my book. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, and if you don't like it, who am I to say that I don't agree with your opinion? We're not going to start that war. So thank you to everyone who does review my book, even if you liked it or didn't. I appreciate you just reading it. So I'm not going to get into a comment battle of whose opinion of this book is right, because it's opinion. It's however this book moved you, whether in a positive or negative way. So I would not engage in that. And then the next tip I'll give you about negative reviews, keep in mind the readers that really liked your book and just didn't take the time to review it. And that happens. For example, when you go to a restaurant and you liked it, had a good time, everything was good, that was great. You go home, you go watch a show, go to bed, wake up the next day, do your routine, and that's it. But if you went to that same restaurant and there was a rat running around, there's a whole clump of hair in your food, then you might take that to the internet and write about it. So just keep a perspective that although you're reading all these negative reviews, there are people who really like your book who just didn't take the time to review it. So keep that perspective in mind. There's a silent majority out there of readers who liked your book, but just didn't review it. So maybe that will help. But my last thing I'll say is end on a positive. If we're going to dive into these negative reviews, we have to dive into the positive as well. And that's exactly what we're about to do right now. So we're going to look at the negative. We looked at the negative reviews of You Should Have Just Let Me Go. And now we're going to look at the positive, ending on a high note. And I suggest you do the same thing if you do read your negative comments. So let's begin. Oh, my heart. This was so hard to read because of how relatable it was. I feel like most people have been in relationships where the spark fizzled out, but continue to stay together because of how used to each other they are. And that's the central theme of this book. This reader knows what they're talking about. That was the central theme of the book. Thank you for reading. Let's keep going with our positives. This dual POV was so thorough in expressing each character's emotions and inner thoughts. And the ending put a ribbon on the entire thing, so no questions were left unanswered. I absolutely loved that. Bailey's writing style is so beautiful, and I'm so looking forward to reading more of her books in the future. So this comment is an example of you can write the same book, and people have two different opinions of the same thing. The negative comment said the ending was horrible, and this person loved the ending. So Your book might not be for everyone, but this just made me feel confident that the ending was good, even though I wouldn't write it any other way. That's how it went. Okay, moving on. Positive reviews here. You Should Have Just Let Me Go is a deeply moving and thought-provoking piece that captures raw emotion with striking honesty. The title itself sets the tone, haunting, vulnerable, and unapologetically direct. What stands out most is the way it balances pain with beauty. Every line feels intentional, pulling the audience into an intimate reflection of love, loss, and the courage it takes to walk away. The storytelling is both poetic and powerful, leaving a lingering echo long after the final word. It's the kind of work that doesn't just speak to you in the moment, it stays with you, challenging you to revisit your own memories and truth. Bold, heartbreaking, and unforgettable, You Should Have Just Let Me Go is a masterful expression of emotion that deserves recognition. Wow. Now, if you don't go to bed happy after reading that, then you're crazy, because whoever wrote that, thank you. And whoever wrote that, also, you should be a writer, because that was poetic. Beautiful. Oh my gosh. That was so nice. We're going to end on one more. See how the mood switches with positive reviews? We're going to end with one more. The thing about a romance book is that some are dreamy, give you hope, yet this story hits close to home in so many levels. It's not unrealistic, and it's the perfect example on how each individual perceives one another in moments where they become blindsided over time. You are able to not only read her point of view, but also his point of view leading up to the very end of the story. Bailey Thomas got me with this one. So, if you haven't read that book yet, hopefully these reviews made you want to check it out. As again, I wrote it. I have a website. I'll put it in the description. Every order truly means the world to me. You can even type notes in when you order the book. So if you saw this video, you saw the positive reviews, when you order, type it in or comment on this video and say, I got this book because of the positive reviews. Thank you so much for checking me out. If you thought about looking at my books, have looked at my books, will look at my books, thank you so much. And if you are an author, go ahead and also check out the description of my P.O. box, and you can send me your book, because in future videos, I'm going to showcase other authors who are brave enough to send me their book and are brave enough to publish. And you readers out there, this channel's for you. Send me your favorite book, because if you love it, it must be awesome, and I want to check it out too. But thank you guys for sticking with me through another vulnerable video of reading my negative reviews. It truly means the world to all of you who have stuck by my side and are leaving positive ones. Thank you so much. I just can't believe I get to make these videos for you. So if you like what's going on here, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video, or maybe a part 3 when I read negative reviews of my next book, because they'll always be there. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Happy reading, and I'll see you next time.